Hello, my friend. It's Jillian. So, my lower back's been giving me a little bit of a problem lately. I created this sequence for me, but I thought maybe you might benefit from it as well. So, low back pain can come from a lot of places. It can come from sitting too much, it can come from muscle imbalances like a weak core or weak glutes, and it can also be sort of where stress and anxiety hang out. They can often hang out in the back. So, it has a lot of causes, but today we're just going to look at some of the symptoms of it and address those. So one of the really important things to know about low back issues is that even though when we wake up in the morning it might feel really intuitive to get up and stretch, the best thing you can do is actually start just walking and moving. So maybe getting out for a walk, and then once you come home from your walk, then you get into the stretching. So this would be a good sequence for then. All right, so we don't need any props, just coming to your mat. Take the knees about as wide as your mat. We're going to sink the hips back, reach the arms forward, and find an extended child's pose. So stretching those hips back. We're not going to stay here for too long. And just maybe pushing into one knee, into one shin, and then the other. Maybe just a little subtle rock side to side. And we're going to bring a little bit of movement into this. As you inhale, I want you to keep your hands planted. Feel like you're pulling your hands towards you as you lift your hips up. And then exhale, take the hips back. Moving with your breath. Inhale, come forward. Exhale takes you back. Good. A couple more times. And then the next time that you find yourself up, let's take the knees a little bit closer together. Maybe take the hands just slightly in front of the shoulders. We're going to curl the toes under, start to lift the knees, lift the hips, and find a downward facing dog. Now maybe you pedal out your feet a little bit. Drop the head down, let everything be heavy. Again, we're stretching into the spine. If you don't practice a lot of yoga, or you're a bit newer, this might feel like a lot on your hands and your wrists. So you could always take a break, take a pause, take the knees down. Stay here for about 3 more breaths, maybe eventually coming to stillness. And then from here, let's walk our feet now to the top of the mat. Taking a nice deep bend in the knees, keeping everything soft. Maybe grab your opposite elbows and just sway side to side. So we're bending the knees to protect the low back. And then let's release the hands down towards the mat. Head is heavy. We're going to slowly, slowly roll up, keeping a bend in the knees. Protect that low back. And then once we get to the top, let's roll shoulders back. And then we'll roll shoulders forward. The next time you roll forward, let's keep rolling forward, and we're going to come all the way back down to that dangle. Bend your knees. Nice and slow, 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 slow. All the way back down. Knees are bending. Good. From here, let's plant the hands again, and we're just going to walk ourselves back to that downward facing dog. Working out anything else you'd like to in the legs. And let's wave forward here. We're going to come into a plank. Drop your knees down, coming onto the back of the feet, and we'll lower down all the way onto the belly. Taking your elbows now underneath your shoulders, palms face down. We're coming into a Cobra Pose. Now, we want to have the glutes engaged for this one. Otherwise, we get a little crunching compression in the low back. So glutes are engaged, back of the feet are pushing into the mat. And if it still feels uncomfortable in the low back, take your elbows a little farther away from you. So we stay here for about 5 breaths. Gaze is maybe just in front of the hands. And then we'll lower ourselves back down. Take the hands beside the rib cage. Push yourself up through table. Take those knees underneath the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders, and we'll move through some cat-cow. As you inhale, drop the heart down, squeeze shoulder blades together, look forward slightly. And then exhale, lift your heart. Good, you're moving with the breath. Inhale takes you down. Exhale takes you up. And if there is just one pose, one sequence you take from this, this would be it. So good for our spines, these cat-cows. We'll do about 2 more rounds. Good, now coming to a flat back. What we're gonna do now, I'm gonna turn to my side just so you can see what I'm doing. We're gonna take our right knee and we're gonna place it behind the right wrist. Start to take that right ankle out to the side. Now this right hip is gonna come all the way down to the mat. And then we're gonna bend our left knee so that both of our knees are at a 90-degree angle. Take your right hand out to the side. We're gonna reach up with the left arm. We're gonna inhale, come down. And then exhale it up. Good, inhale down. Exhale up. Good, one more time. Good, exhale up. This time we're gonna stay for a couple breaths. So coming into the side stretch, you could even come down onto your forearm if you want. Trying to keep, though, that left hip down so that we're feeling that stretch in the lower side of the back, lower sides. Good. On your next breath in, let's come back up. And then we'll take this left hand across the right knee. We're going to take the right hand behind the back, looking over the shoulder. So we're twisting into the lower back. Good. On your next breath in, let's come back to the front. We're going to unwind our legs, come back to your table, and then set up for the second side. So taking that left knee behind the left wrist, take the left hip down. We work our legs to 90 degrees. Take your left hand out to the side. Take your arm up. And then on your next breath in, let's come over. Exhale it up. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. And come back up. And then let's stay. Feeling that stretch right through the side body. We don't stretch into the side body very often in our daily lives. We don't take these shapes. And on your next breath in, let's come up. And then we'll take that right hand across the left knee, looking over the left shoulder. One more breath here. Gaze comes back to the front. This time, let's just take the hands behind the back and we'll just windshield wiper those knees. So just taking the knees out to the sides. Then we're going to make our way onto our backs. So coming onto your back. Keep your left leg extended. We're going to bring that right knee in. Interlace around the front of the shin or around the back of the thigh. We'll hold here for about 3 breaths. Now using your left hand, we're going to start to bring this right knee across the body. Don't worry about how deep it gets. We're just looking for a little sensation. With this right hand, a couple options. You could reach it out to a T. You could take it overhead. You could even have it just alongside the body. And taking this opportunity maybe to focus a little bit more on the breath. Notice where you're feeling the body, the breath in the body. Notice where you're feeling sensation. On your next inhale, let's take that right knee back through center. We'll extend the right leg. Second side, float that left knee in. Interlace around the front of the shin or around the back of the thigh. Again, holding here. And we'll start to use the right hand to bring that left knee across the body. Again, decide what you're going to do with your left hand, with your left arm. And just twist until you feel some sensation. That knee definitely doesn't have to go all the way to the floor. And let's inhale, come back to center. Float both of the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little hug, a little rock side to side. And ask yourself if there's any other movement that your body wants you to take right now. Maybe another twist. Maybe the legs up the wall would feel really nice. And this would be a good time to stop the video and maybe just take a few moments to take a shavasana or a seated meditation. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.